There's a lot of ways to play Slime Rancher. Hi friends, and welcome back to Slime Rancher. This lovely farming simulator series is primarily based around harvesting the excrement from some cute wiggly slimes and turning it into a profit source, but even a game with such simple concepts attracts a wide variety of players. As such, there's no right or wrong way to play Slime Rancher, and everyone is left to their own devices. So today we're going to talk about 10 different ways various people have chosen to experience the far, far range. Be sure to let me know which type of rancher you are down in the comments below, and consider leaving a like if you enjoyed the video. It would be much appreciated. But without further ado, here's 10 types of Slime Rancher players. Between the myriad of slime varieties, their associated plorts, and their preferred food types between meat, veggie, and fruit, there are a ton of different items and farmable materials that you can have on your ranch, and the collector's gotta have them all. Down to the late game farmable slimes like saber or fire slimes, the collector's got a dedicated section to harvest all of their plorty goodness at a moment's notice. You're like the dropshipper of the ranching world, where you can provide anything and everything to anyone who asks within seconds, but you actually provide all of your own goods this time. Your ranch is neatly organized and laid out so that every piece of your collection is easily accessible and useful to you wherever you need it. Bonus points if you have additional stockpiles and some silos for a rainy day. Even more bonus points if you put in the dedication to get every kind of Gordo too. Getting enough gilded ginger to deal with a golden Gordo is a challenge only a few can accomplish. Goodness knows this could never be me, but more power to you. You know the nun from The Sound of Music who tells Julie Andrews to climb every mountain? Well, the parkour master took that literally. This game didn't give you a jetpack just for hopping over some simple puddles, no. There's whole mountains out there that need to be explored, and the parkour master knows just how to climb all of them. Finding those tiny ledges that you can stand on for just long enough to let that energy bar replenish is what you live for. No landmass goes untouched, and no peak is too high for you. The threats of lava and the slime sea are no real deterrents for a rancher as dedicated as you, and sometimes your dangerous feats are rewarded with hidden treasures in those hard-to-reach places. The platforming aspect of this game really appeals to your inner Nintendo 64 loving child, and sometimes the challenge of getting somewhere no one else has ever been before is enough reward in and of itself. The parkour master really takes the physical limitations of this game to its limits, and that's pretty respectable in my opinion. The story enthusiast really dedicates their time to finding every scrap of text available in Beatrix's adventures, and they'll stop at nothing to find every single one of Hobson's notes just to squeeze out any last drop of lore to bring themselves more into the world of slimes and ranching. When Slime Rancher 2 came out, these players immediately went on their divine quest to find all of the research drones, and then did it again when they got their hands on the archive key. The story enthusiast truly believes that the best part of stories, like the one told in Slime Rancher, come from discovering it yourself and reaching your own conclusions about what the notes mean. Sure, some of them just say Yahoo! In all caps, but in some ways, that makes it all the more rewarding when you can share in that joy by living out B's story yourself. The beauty of the passive storytelling style is the story enthusiast's desire to bring out the smallest details and really understand what's happening in the world around them. But if you're not a story enthusiast and you still want to know what's happening in these games, I happen to know a YouTube channel that can help. The free-range farmer believes that slimes still deserve the best possible life they can have on the ranch, just like they would in the wild. Those corrals are a bit too restrictive, and frankly, they don't seem all that too humane to keep these little guys cooped up when they were clearly meant to roam free. The threat of tars ruining your whole operation doesn't seem to scare the free-range farmer, which honestly scares me more than tars ever could. That level of brazen is just begging to be smitten by some divine power. But nonetheless, the free-range farmer insists that their ranch is just an extension of the outside world where no additional rules apply. It's simply convenient to have a wide variety of slimes nearby, and there's no need to slap them into cages forever as you watch their slimes fade away. Why bother wasting all of your time with those auto feeders and making sure all your supplies are replenished when you could simply let those slimes function like they do in the wild and fend for themselves with some well-maintained gardens? Your ranch is that happy place that most slimes can only dream of, yet somehow it's still full of all of that wiggly, chaotic joy that makes this series so great. The treasure hunter really isn't afraid to let their scurvy side shine through in hopes of finding all of those shiny little capsules. Between the first and the second game, there are a whole lot of treasure capsules, and by that big smiling slime moon, the treasure hunter is going to find each and every one of them. Whether it's a little decoration option, some crafting materials, or a necessary component for the backpack upgrade you want, the treasure hunter is going to crack open every single capsule until there's nothing left. And even then, they're still waiting on the next updates to Slime Rancher 2 so they can continue their treasure hunting journey. It's almost like a drug. You get a little hit of serotonin when you see that little rainbow geyser, and then you're completely off to search for the next hit in some obscure section of the map that only you and the parkour master will ever visit. But there's treasure to be had, and you'd best believe that the treasure hunter will find a way to get it. When new areas become available, you know what your purpose is, so you'll spend the next 3 hours trying to find all of the pods hidden behind waterfalls and hidden in small nooks. For you, life is all about that hunt, and the hunt lives on in you. Victor is a real inspiration to us introverted, nerdy types, and slime science can be your virtual calling. Whether or not you plan to use all 47 advanced drills you made is irrelevant. The point is that you had them, and you do intend to make sure you have enough indigonium to craft the next available upgrade whenever you want it. That laboratory and Victor's ranch expansion are where you spend 90% of your time, only leaving for the occasional cup of coffee to pick up some other necessary materials that you need to make a new invention. At this point, you need a VR version of the original Slime Rancher game so you can take this slimulation to the next level and live inside of a true metaverse. Although, those pesky tars still prove to be quite the problem even in a virtual reality. Regardless of how you choose to spend your time though, I bet you still felt touched when B and Victor became real friends, and you want that kind of connection for yourself. Honestly, Slime Rancher speedrunners kind of terrify me. If you've ever checked out some of the world record runs by the Pig King or Wikiboy or any of the other amazing runners out there, you'll certainly know what I'm talking about. Slime Rancher is supposed to be this relaxing farming simulator with these cute wiggly friends to keep you company, but these insane people take all of those comfy vibes and throw them out the window in favor of somehow repeatedly jumping off of one poor slime to fly over the slime sea because it's faster than the jetpack. I spent like 50 hours completing a single save file, and these maniacs are out here reaching the end credits in less than 15 minutes. From the intense dedication to play a single game over and over again to build up some intense mechanical skill and really grind down that timer, Slime Rancher's speedrunning scene is both active and really competitive. Again, if you're a Slime Rancher speedrunner, I am actively scared of you, but I also respect you immensely. Let's just leave that slime alone for a little bit, okay? All those excellent decoration rewards from the treasure pods don't go to waste in the hands of the environmental engineer. There's a surprising amount of flora, rocks, and other environmental features that you can create in the lab's fabricator, all of which can help you customize your ranch in whatever way you see fit. Honestly, I am really jealous of the people who are good at this. It's like interior design, only exterior, which has never been my strong suit. The environmental engineer brings each ranch expansion up to a new level while still maintaining some sense of overarching design and making it feel just as natural as the environments you found scattered throughout the far range. I bet you also really enjoyed the sections of the glass desert while you got to play restoration ecologist with the ancient water, because I 100% did, and I only aspire to be as powerful as some of you environmental engineers are out there. You have a knack for bringing an already excellent range expansion up to the next level. For you, this game is a work of art, and I want to live in the worlds that you create. According to the Purist, Largos are for wimps who don't know how to meet their slime's needs. Who needs genetic mutation when you can make the most out of your ranch's features, dividing your expansions into select areas for certain kinds of slimes? Fruit eaters belong in one area, veggie eaters in another, and meat eaters are a whole different issue, but you'll make sure that everyone gets their favorite food regardless of how impractical it may be. After all, a fully upgraded ranch has space for a lot of corrals, so there's no excuse to mix and match. You'd much rather keep things simple and minimize any risk of the dreaded tars ruining your perfect world. Those quantum slimes and the whirly boys can sometimes cause their own issues, let alone the way the tangled slimes seem to have a penchant for consuming anything that crosses their path, but you've managed to separate everyone into their own happy homes where you can keep an eye on them. There's no need to fear when everyone is neatly sorted into their own little boxes, and that's when you're the happiest. Where the Purist believes in meeting each slime species' needs individually, the Neglectful Rancher is more likely to ignore them just as equally. Would it truly be a farming simulator if there weren't some way you could make the subjects of your farming empire suffer just a little? While some ranchers dote on their cute wiggly little friends, their counterpart often forgets, or outright refuses, to care for all of their slime's needs. Their anger issues aren't a you problem, after all. This tiny corral should be all they need, and you're giving them some much needed shelter from the harsh world of tars out there. They should be grateful for the roof over their heads and the walls around them, let alone the fact that you do remember to feed them sometimes, just not as often as they would probably like. You don't really care that your feeding patterns aren't necessarily optimal for your profit margins, but hey, as long as you get what you need, the ends justify the means, right? And those are 10 types of Slime Rancher players that you can expect to encounter on the far range. I'm definitely a story enthusiast and a treasure hunter, but I'm curious to see how you guys play. Also, let me know if you think I missed any types down in the comments. Anyways, I think that's it for me for now. I hope you enjoyed. Please consider leaving a like if you did, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. It really helps me out. I hope to see you all again soon, but until then, have a great day.